Lance, what do you call an alligator in a vest? An investigator. Why did a banana go to the doctors? It didn't peel well. What do you call a sleeping bull? A bulldozer. When the best time to go to the dentist? At Tooth Fairy. That sucked. What has 4 wheels and flies? A garbage truck. What do you call a bear? Yeah. What do you call a bear with no teeth? A gummy bear. Why do golfers have 2 pairs of pants? In case they don't get a hole in one.
Yeah, and that one was
good. Why was 6 afraid of 7? Because 7, 8, 9. Why are pirates called pirates? Because they are. What do you call a fly with no wings? A walk. Get it? Fly with no wings. And last but not least, yeah, a walk, yeah. What do you call a fly with no wings? A walk. I just reading people.
I don't get that.
What gets more wet and more? What gets wet with more dry? A towel. And so that is some of your jokes of today.
Week.
Hey. Sometimes I'm good, sometimes I'm bad. Here all night.
Joke of the week. So now it brings us to our devil's advocate. So if this is your first time joining us for the devil's advocate, phone lines are open, folks, 917-889-8825. We really want you to call in. So if you're listening to us on whatever platform, feel free to call in. You go to www.bemoretalk.org. Listen to us live, 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We're broadcasting out of Baltimore, Maryland. And join the conversation. Call us live. If you're listening to us on those platforms, so you're getting the recording afterwards, feel free to comment on those shows. We will read the comments on air, and we will even respond to your emails. info@bemoretalk.org. Just put your topic in the subject line so we know what you're talking about. What are you talking about, Willis? So, close your eyes, if you will. First, let's take you to Joe Biden presidency. Here it is, January 2021. President's been sworn in by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, even though the votes say contrary. He becomes president because that's the game that they play. They always go from Democrat to Republican, Democrat to Republican, Democrat to Republican. Sometimes they go 2 in a row, sometimes they go 1 in a row, but it's always back and forth, Democrat, Republican, Democrat, Republican. They try not to go Democrat, Democrat, Republican. impossible for people to trust the election system with the mail-in ballot, which not only was unconstitutional, it was a bad idea in the get-go. Voting has to be monitored and observed. There's no way of knowing if a person voted in line and also voted in the mail-in ballot, because you're counting them all at the same time. So there's no way for the computer to cancel one without the other, because you're counting them at the same time. I have a relative, several, who said that they also did the mail-in ballot. And got in line and voted. It was said and suggested that if you did not see your vote being counted online, that you go and cast your vote live, which means that nobody went into the mail-in box and collected your vote and counted your vote. So there'd be no more election. They'll come up with a new system where everybody will mail in their elections. There'll be no more polling places, no more polling machines, no more observers. And for the next 4 terms, the presidents will always be Democrats. No need for the Republicans to even consider running, because it'll be biased in favor of the Democrat. To show you what a Democrat government looks like, for people, first of all, that don't know what a Democrat is, the Democrat uses the donkey. Democratic use of the donkey. It has nothing to do with agriculture. It has to do with keeping the country stable. Because a donkey, for those who know what a donkey is, or a jackass, does not move, will not move, and is very stubborn. It will hold its position, and it will not move. So every Democrat who has taken down statues is only doing it under the peer pressure of the media. The reason why it was not done sooner, Democrats have no problem with racism or history. Educational system will collapse and fold, and everybody is going into homeschooling because too many of the schools have been vacant for so long that they start doing budget cuts. They're laying off teachers. They're laying off principals because whether or not you know it, the teachers and principals are still getting paychecks, even though there's no classroom for them to teach. They're contracted employees, 10 months, whereas the principal is a 12-month. And I think your custodians are 12 months because they have to upkeep the building during the summers and winters when schools are closed. They have to make sure there's oil. They have to make sure there's heat. So all this money went to putting air conditioning into a school that you can't even enter. All this money goes into putting resources, grants, and budgets together for a school that you can't spend. So what can the governor do? Take the money that's not being spent on schools, put it elsewhere. Now they have passed sports betting. which leads to more crime in your cities, leads to more crime in your casinos. Now you're betting on boxing matches, which was against the law. Now it's legalized. Betting on basketball games. Spread, the Blue Chips movie has now become legalized. That's what the whole Blue Chips was about. Betting on the spread and jigging the points, putting 5s where it should be a 6 and putting 7s where it should be a 6. And as long as no one notices, they get away with it. That's what happened. Not only that, police will be contracted out like the movie RoboCop. Big corporation comes from overseas, China, sets up in New York, sets up in Detroit. Called the Omni Corporation or OCP. Mm-hmm. I don't know about building robotic cops, but they will have outsourced police. That alleviates the budget, gets rid of the crime wave in the police department. And because you defunded the police, there's no recovery. That's what a Biden administration will look like. On top of that, all of your social classes, such as middle class, high class, will be delineated, and to the lower class will get a minimum wage raised to $15 or up to $20 an hour. So the middle class will now become the upper middle class and the lower middle class, which is both in the poverty line, thanks to an Obama administration, or I should say, Biden administration. Speaking of Obama, a lot of people are saying that Obama is going to run the White House through Biden and whatnot. Every president, and this is constitutional rule, every president is a presidential advisor. Whether or not the sitting president listens to them or not doesn't matter, including Donald Trump, including Jimmy Carter, including Clinton, including Obama. But if you don't listen, you don't listen. It's up to you to take that advice. However, you cannot put a former president on the cabinet, which Biden might do it. He's already been a liar. He's already been caught stealing votes. 2 of the states yesterday, 2 of the states that they gave to Biden, they gave to Trump. Still call this man president-elect. They've disrupted your news channels, saying this is a special report from the office of the president-elect, which is no such thing. You're talking about ego, attention getter? Trump? Sounds like Biden. Trump never did such a thing. We'll take a quick break. We got 5 callers on the line. We'll take a quick break, and we'll take those calls. Stay where you got it. Hold on with me, callers. We'll be right back. Got to pay the bills. Be right back, and 2 and 2. Don't go away.